legend round here. A killer buried, but not dead. A curse on Crystal Lake. A death curse. Jason Voorhees' curse. They say he died as a boy, but he keeps coming back. Hey guys, we are in Baldwin County, Alabama. We are turning off of Alabama 225 onto Byrnes Lake Road, and we are headed out to Byrnes Lake Boat Landing, the filming location of Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. This was the location chosen to fill in as that film's Crystal Lake, as the filmmakers were supposedly trying to find a location far from Hollywood to hide out while proceeding with production regardless of the writer's strike that was taking place at the time. It has been 35 years since this movie was produced, so obviously there's going to be some things that don't look exactly the same. One of the first things that you notice is that the dock is not the same as what's seen in the movie. In the movie, there's two different docks. There's the first dock that's covered, much larger, and it collapses at the beginning of the movie. And then there's a second dock that's supposed to be when Tina's much older, but obviously it's not the same as what stands today. You'll also notice that there's no trace or hint of the two houses shown in the film, the Shepherd house and the party house. That's because they were facades. They're not real at all. They were only built as a facade. All the interior shots inside of the houses were filmed elsewhere, back in California, I believe. After production was concluded, the facades that were standing here were destroyed and removed. Likewise, the few underwater shots that are featured in the film were also filmed elsewhere. Right over here is what would have been in front of the Shepherd house where Tina and Dr. Cruz and her mom are at. And you can see some footage inside the film. And over here you can see the area in front of the party house. And this is where, I believe this is where Jason came up from the water, and then he stalks two kids later on and kills the girl in the water and the guy on the shore. In the final scenes, I believe that all the fire and rescue and paramedics that you see, at least most of them, I believe were locals that were casted. You can see the Stockton Volunteer Fire Department has vehicles there. I believe this is local ambulances that were used at the time. So they did cast some locals here in the final scenes. Alright guys, well I hope that you enjoyed my little visit to Alabama's Crystal Lake. If you'll go back and think about the movie itself, Friday the 13th Part 7, New Blood, you'll remember it is the only Friday the 13th movie that takes place in this one small location. So everything that you see on the film is that one little spot with the two houses in front of the lake, and a few shots of the roads going up to that spot, and some scenes in the woods. Where all the other movies shows at least one character going into town, some establishing shots, things like that. So there's no other landmarks to check out. My understanding is that from what I've seen online, I think some people do go try to find the local Stockton Volunteer Fire Department. Stockton is the actual small community where this was filmed at. A lot of people say Bay Minette because it's right outside Bay Minette. But so some people do go try to check out the Stockton Volunteer Fire Department, but it's not shown in the movie. They only show like the old fire trucks that they had back in the time of filming in 1987. So I didn't go there. And I tell you all that just so that you'll keep in mind, like for me to get to Byrnes Lake, I'm only about a 3-hour drive. But if you're coming from, you know, any other part of the country or several states over, I would advise plan accordingly and make a trip out of it, because unless you plan to, you know, spend some time there fishing or having a picnic or something, that's really all it is just a dock and a boat ramp. So there's not really much there to see. And I'm not knocking the community of Stockton or the area or anything like that. It's just, if you're going to look for a day of Friday the 13th stuff, you're not going to find it, because that's all there is. It's just the dock and the boat ramp. And then you can, the roads that are shown on film, a little bit of woods, but that's about it really. And that's not a knock if you're a diehard Friday the 13th fan, and I've been a fan for about 30 years, and when I was young, Part 7 was one of my favorites. I liked the way that Jason looked in that particular film. I liked a lot of the weapons that he chose to use, even though the violence was completely edited out thanks to the MPAA that was coming down on the Friday the 13th series at the time. But yeah, so if you're a huge fan, it's something cool to see and to be able to go to. And one of the biggest bonuses is that it's the boat ramp there. It's all public. It's a public place. You can go there, you can check it out without getting hassled. You don't have to worry about trespassing or anything like that. So yeah, it's a good filming location to check out. It's got easy access. But again, yeah, if you're going to go and you're coming from like a long way away, try to schedule some other things to do. I would advise, you know, Bay Minette has got some things to do, but Mobile is close by. I think Bay Minette is about 15 miles from Byrnes Lake, and Mobile is about 20 miles. So both of those are really close, and Mobile is the 4th largest city in the state of Alabama. There's a lot to do there. But even at Byrnes Lake, if you wanted to spend some time fishing or something there, outdoors is nice. One of the things about Alabama is even in the fall time, if you were to go like say October or November, you could still spend a day fishing there. Fall stays pretty mild. The coldest days in October or November, I mean, a light jacket or even just a long sleeve shirt and you'll be fine. A lot of days during those months are still actually pretty warm, but it can go either way in South Alabama. One day it might be really warm, the next day it might be in the 50s or 60s. So you never really know, but the weather is always pretty mild. It's not going to get real cold, except maybe in like February or something like that. Yeah, if you want to find some other activities to do, if you like horror movies, you probably like other spooky stuff. There's some things in Mobile you can check out. One of the biggest attractions there is to tour the World War II battleship, the USS Alabama, which I've done numerous times. That's always a great trip. Some people claim it's haunted, so I can't say one way or the other on that, but some people say that it is. I've actually stayed in a hotel in Mobile that some people claim is haunted, called the Malaga Inn, and that was a fun time. if you come during Mardi Gras time, Mobile, Mardi Gras is huge in Mobile. I think some people say that Mardi Gras started in Mobile, and then it got, a lot bigger. It's known for New Orleans, but I think Mobile might have been doing it first. I'm not sure about that. Make proper plans and make a day out of it. I just don't want you to come from like a long way away to get to see a dock and a boat ramp. Just being there is really, really cool, but you've pretty much seen everything if you've been there 15 or 30 minutes, Alright, happy campers, there is one last thing that I wanted to make known to you. This is my special announcement. Now, before I get started, I want you to know, anybody that knows me knows I'm not one of those guys that's like always trying to make a buck or anything like that. I don't even promote my YouTube channel or anything like that. But I did come up with something really cool that I wanted to offer. When I went out to Byrnes Lake to check out the filming location for Friday the 13th Part 7, I actually collected some water while I was there. And what I've done is I've made some items that are available for sale if you're interested. Usually I don't ever hawk anything, that's not really my thing. But this is something that I would like, something that I would want, and I thought maybe some of you might be interested too. So I put together some things that I wanted to share with you, and you can check it out. I'm going to put a link to my eBay page in the description, so if you're interested, check it out. But what I've done is I took some water from Byrnes Lake and I packaged them. I've got 3 different styles. Like, this is the smallest one this holds about 12 milliliters of water. It's got a little Jason decal on it. And I've also got 2 other styles, and these are a little bit more deluxe here. These come in these small jars, and each of these hold about 1.5 ounces of water from Byrnes Lake. This one has a little metal hockey mask and machete. It's got a decal on the lid and the tag here that tells where it was from and how it was collected and all. And the third style has this miniature replica of the hockey mask. It also has the decal on the top of the lid, the tag. They're all wrapped in twine. I thought it gives it kind of a nice camp kind of feel. But anyway, if you're interested in that, I hope you'll check it out on eBay. And like I said, I'm only doing this because this is something that I would like, something that I'd like to collect. So if you're unable to make it to Byrnes Lake to check it out yourself, and you'd like a memento, a little piece of movie history, here's some water from the filming location of Friday the 13th Part 7. And again, 3 different styles. The lighting here is not too good. I'll put up a little video and some pictures where you can check it out here at the end of the video. And that's the smallest one. Hey, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me and checking it all out, and I will see y'all next time.